just wanted to take a second to introduce myself. I am Candi Milo, and I am currently working on The Day the Earth Blew Up for Warner Brothers Pictures, Animation, and Catch-Up Entertainment. My character in the movie is Petunia Pig. And what I'd like you to know about her is that although she's been around since the 40s, she's a 21st century gal, and she is a mad, 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 mad scientist. And I am happy to bring these Warner Brother characters into the 21st century. My favorite moment for Petunia Pig is a very heartfelt moment towards the end of the film where she professes her respect and admiration for the two idiots that are Porky and Daffy, because she sees the hero side of them. And that's what happens when you build trust through friendship. I think this Looney Tunes film is different from past Looney Tunes projects in that you have Pete Brownguard, who seems to really understand the characters and really get them, is also an amazing artist and has surrounded himself with people that understand, respect, and love the 1940s Looney Tunes project. But I think the most important part for me is that they seem to have rounded out the female figures in all of their projects stepping forward. Everything Pete Brownguard touches, with the help, I know, of Spike Brandt, Tony Cerrone, and Sam Register, it's a group project to bring these characters to life, but to current life. One of the biggest hurdles that I faced is that I act like a boy and that I'm loud and fast and funny. And sometimes that doesn't gel with new creators who wanted somebody more pliable. Something that still lasts that I know a lot of women can really understand, something that is unfortunately still pervasive, is ageism. And you see a lot of it, and sometimes I get a little upset at my fellow females that are younger, that they feel something that men don't do, but women really feel like they need to knock off the woman at the top. And perhaps that's because there's not as many opportunities. And so that is something that I still fight, that I try to remind people that June Foray acted well into her 90s and sounded exactly the same. And though everything about me may be getting older, and it's such a privilege having lived through COVID and through AIDS, every day that I wake up is like, yes, the inside of me is still 11 years old and stupid. I do feel like we are the one industry, animation, where it is really truly the best person for the job, and there isn't a lot of gatekeeping. But I always say that if it wasn't for the writers on something like Space Jam 2, and the producers who created Granny speaking for the first time, that I think that you have to give women the chance. And perhaps it is, Liz, perhaps the chance that needs to be given is we need to see more women in the C-suite. We need more female directors. We need more female casting. We need more women of color. We need more female identifying people understanding how hard we have to work to just break even. And I think it is accepting, when you have a woman in the C-suite, they understand large personalities, they understand things that don't fit the form of entertainment for the male gaze only. And I know that sounds much more man-hating than I want it to sound, but I think it's just in my case, you know, I think a woman would understand who I am better but I do work, and I do work with guys that get me, and that's Pete Brownguard and the team at Warner Brothers. They seem to be getting me the most. We need people that understand that we are not just set for the male gaze, that we are not here just to get dates or something, that we exist entirely in our own, and that we are just as funny as the guys if you give us a chance. to be. One of the things that I can teach people that are uninitiated about voice acting or who are interested in it is that it is truly, truly one of the last merit-based um, uh, avenues of show business. I audition and they know where to find me. I've been doing this 30 some odd years and I go back and forth. I started on Tiny Toon Adventures. I was hired by Steven Spielberg years and decades ago. And I still audition. And I have a huge, probably 1,200, 1,500 half hours of animation, if not 2,000. And I still audition. So if I'm auditioning and you're auditioning, that means they're looking for you because they know where to find me. So don't let somebody who has had a more full career think that make you think you'll never get a chance at it. Every single time you audition, that is your shot for the day to act and show them what you would bring to the character. And 9 times out of 10, because I don't get every job, I don't even get half of the jobs. Somebody like you gets it and I don't. So I hope that that gives people hope that this is one of the last bastions where they say, bring it. And if you bring it, you can get a check. We get stuck, something that has stuck with me, a really great piece of advice. And it was given to me years ago by, I don't know if your listeners, your fans will know Jimmy Walker, but he was on Good Times, Dynamite. And we had done an album together again, decades ago. And I was devastated to find out that I didn't get a job. And he heard me asking on a landline, my agent, who got it? Why do you think I didn't get it? And he came over and he said, I'm going to tell you something. And he used to call me the bomb. I'm going to tell you something, bomb. He said, never ask who got it and never ask why you didn't get it, because all of those reasons change. And as a young, impressionable actor, you will try to become the woman that got it, or you will try to change who you are to fit that mold. And he said there'll be hundreds of thousands of auditions in your lifetime. And decades later, there have been hundreds and thousands of auditions, and I've always been me. And it's worked out the best. I will give you an example. I was feeling myself. For years, I was the spokesperson for this store called Mervyn's, and I had ad-libbed this line, open, open, open. And for 8 years, I every 3 months would say open, open, open in a new commercial. And one day, as we were winding down the campaign, I asked the director, why did you choose me? And you didn't know I was going to come up with open, open, open. And he said, you said your name better than anybody said their name in the slate. And I sat there and went, and he said, we were praying that you could act, but you were coming from a call for a callback. We didn't even watch your audition. We were like, they said, oh, she's so sparkly, she's perfect. Don't ask why you didn't get it. Somebody could you could look like their ex-wife. You could look like their ex-husband. You could look like some idiot that was rude to them. I just say I've never asked why. I never asked why, and I never ask who got it. Because it doesn't impact. All I know is I didn't. Moving on. First of all, I am very upset that I don't look like Christy Brinkley, okay? And I'm very upset that I don't sound like Christy Brinkley. So it's hard for me to watch myself. I get so nervous. I'm like, why would anybody hire me? Look what I look like. Look what I sound like. I am so proud of The Day the Earth Blew Up. That is number one. You have to see this film. It is so funny. It is so clever. It has got such heart. It's also so stupid. It is like, it's what I was saying this morning. It is bubblegum and butt cracks. It's so funny. I also think that brand new coming from Warner Brothers is an animated series. It's a sort of a reboot of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It's called Foster's Fun Time. And it is the origin story, like Daffy and Porky are. It is the origin story of the imaginary friends when they were babies. And Blue is now sort of the Mr. Harriman. And of course, my character Cheese is making several appearances, which makes me happy. And then I think another top three for me is I would love for people to rediscover Astro Boy, because I think that that was something the series, not the movie, the series was way ahead of its time. It is very Earth central. It was brilliantly written, brilliantly animated, and then we did that in conjunction with Japan. So we were, even though it is anime, we did the voices together. So I didn't dub, I laid my tracks down to lip flaps, as did my counterpart in Japan. It was pretty cool. And that is an unbelievable series that I think is much watch. So this has been me, Candi Milo for CherryPicks. I just wanted to say that you've got to see The Day the Earth Blew Up. We open March 14th. We are in theaters everywhere. You can look it up on Fandango. You can look it up wherever you find your movies. But we're going to be there, and I think it's great. Come out, enjoy some bubblegum and butt cracks. We're waiting for you.